right, Good Morning Football had a wonderful conversation about can the Cowboys get carried by their offense. Basically, can the offense carry the Dallas Cowboys? And what we would do in this situation, we would do the quick review, and I give you my thoughts about what they talked about.
Carry the Cowboys in 2021?
Definitely. Yes, they can. Listen, they are stacked, but this team isn't about the complimentary players. This team is about Dak Prescott. And if you've been paying attention to him, if you look at the clips, he's moving around well. He's throwing the ball well. But more importantly, that ankle, that leg, he looks strong once again. And I feel like the wide receivers are going to do their thing. Ezekiel Elliott looks like he's ready to prove everybody they're still one of the best running backs in the business. But Dak Prescott is going to have to do what we've seen him do for so long, and that is use his legs. He can roll out of bed and throw for 4,500.
All right, so one of the guys there was saying that Dak Prescott must use his legs. I'm looking at it like this. I know that this new football society, you got to have your quarterback that's elusive, that can get out of the pocket. My thoughts, Dak Prescott, if in a pinch, if he need to use his legs, then he can use them. But is it a must? No. There are more quarterbacks that didn't use their legs that won the Super Bowl than there are quarterbacks that use their legs as it relates to getting flushed out of the pocket, being elusive, and these sorts. I believe what need to happen, Ezekiel Elliott, number one, need to show up and show out, as well as the front five, the offensive line, if they are intact. And if Dak Prescott can at least step inside the pocket and make his throws, then you don't have to visit that. But let's listen to what he have to say about Dak Prescott using his legs.
5,000 yards, but it's when he uses his legs, leaves the pocket, throws on the run. That's what makes this offense special. And I'm not sure he's going to be the same guy. After injuries, guys adjust their game. Now, I'm not saying that Dak Prescott isn't going to be a beast like he used to. I'm just not sure he's going to be willing to leave the pocket and be as dominant as he once was, like we're watching right now. Since he came in the league, 24 touchdowns rushing. 24. Now, granted, a lot of those might be, goal line, close touchdowns, 2 to 3 yards. But if they want to be special, Dak Prescott's not only going to have to deliver the ball downfield, but he's going to have to use his legs, leave the pocket, and show that athleticism, because that's when you get the big-time plays in that offense.
Nate, we've talked so much about Dak Prescott, and rightly so, through the course of this offseason, really since he hurt his leg. But don't forget, you had no Tyron Smith for all but 2 games last season. Lyle Collins, your right tackle, didn't play at all last season. He had Brandon Knight and Terrence Steele, and they were still putting up massive 30-plus points per game. To have both those guys back, and I'm told both have looked outstanding in this offseason. That is a huge boost just to solidify that and maybe make Dak a little bit more comfortable where he knows I don't have to release the ball in a second and a half.
Yeah, so that's a major point right there, not a minor. You got to have your offensive tackles intact, and basically getting Tyron Smith back and getting Lyle Collins, who's been working out with Dak Prescott, believe it or not, and he's showcasing that he is really in shape and his mind is together. And I'm talking about Lyle Collins, by the way. I believe that is more important than Dak Prescott rolling out using his legs. And, Mississippi State leg Dak, we always wanted to see that. But I go back to tell you guys that the quarterback stepping up inside the pocket, then maneuvering around and not getting hit as it relates to rolling out, flushed out, is better when you are able to see the entire field, step up inside, and make the throws in those fashions. I'm just saying, Dak Prescott, he don't have to use his legs in order to win.
I hope so, man. Sorry, Ezekiel Elliott. Guys, it's been a while.
This is objective. Bring it up. 20-plus yard runs. Look at 2016. He had 14. He led the NFL. 2020, look at the bottom. Tied for 32nd. There's 32 teams in the league. He was last.
Yikes. Last.
That's not a playoff winning team. I don't care if Dak throws for 8,000 yards. I don't care if they have the best lineman in the world or their defense is surging better.
All right, so when we look back at everything, of course, 2016, and this is not me giving an excuse for Ezekiel Elliott, because I get that a lot. Hey, Law, you only saying that because you are, giving Ezekiel Elliott this big old excuse. But in 2016, his rookie year, and the axe to grind with wasn't really over him. Of course, Roger Goodell didn't have all of those things pointed his way. And I'm not saying that Roger Goodell is the only person that causes Ezekiel Elliott to have his downfalls. Ezekiel Elliott had his hand into the mix as well. But if you look at the chart, just look at it and let's break this down. 2016, rookie, unseen, right? Didn't have all of those nefarious things going on. 2017, he's on the field. Oh, he's getting investigations here, investigation there. Off the field, this type of stuff. Got to have a meeting here. We're going to suspend you for 5 games. No, we're going to suspend you for the max of 6 games. Oh, you can play. Oh, you can't play. And that's what happened all back and forth in 2017. And then 2018 came around. Hey, most of all of that crazy stuff went away, right? We had a horrible year as we started off. Of course, everybody could only imagine how 2018 started. And then all of a sudden, they did a trade type of situation, and then midway through that season, we saw what happened with Ezekiel Elliott. He had the most receptions in that year. I think he had 77 receptions, I believe, and he was just doing his thing in 2018. And then at the end of 2018, everybody know, mama, uncle, cousin know what happened, right? It was time to get paid. It was time to get that paper, that bread, and guess what? That happened. Cowboys Zeke. So 2019, it's just what it is. I can't remember during the preseason and everything, Zeke who, there's Jerry Wayne Jones and company. They were saying Ezekiel Elliott who, and he didn't work out at all with the team. He was just thrown out there and said, okay, hey, you the highest paid running back now, make it happen. And that was why those numbers look kind of crazy, pedestrian. And truth be told, continuity goes a long way. And we had a new offensive coordinator, a whole bunch of other things to happen too. That was his first year, right? 2019, Kellen Moore, right? Let's be real with it. Let's be real with it. So, and then in 2020, everybody, man, let's be real. There's no way that he can get good numbers with a guy named Terrence Steele. And then you had the other guy, Brandon Knight, and all of those boys that was on the opposite side. It sounds like a bevy of excuses, and I do know that heavy is the crown, right? So now that we look at Ezekiel Elliott, hey, can he get back to those 2016 or 17 years? I don't know. But I can tell you that he looks like he's more explosive. He looks like he's quicker on the feet, and he looks like he just focused in. He's not as big as he was last season. He's more chiseled. And let's just see how this thing will all play out.
Their defense is surging better. 21 went to Cabo. He also went away. I need him to come back to the stratosphere. I need a great Ezekiel, explosive. This thing, it got old. It wasn't that funny anymore. But when he's doing that, they're winning. That's what I need, Kay.
I want to know how good you think the defense needs to be. You saw the ranks offensively. They were good before some of those injuries, before some of that stuff was going on. You can't just rely on an offense. They were the 28th defense last year. Not good enough. And where are some of these stars? We're looking at star power. DeMarcus Lawrence, he came into this very studio one day wearing that Snickers chain. We were all so impressed.
Yeah.
He got paid, and since then it was 5 sacks, and then last year it was 6.5 sacks. It's been since that year before he got paid when he had double-digit sacks. I want to see him get back to that. Leighton Vander Esch, like this is like all these guys were known as just to be incredible players before some of them got paid. I'm not saying it has anything to do with it, but this defense needs to be, I would say, Kyle, not one of the top 10, but middle of the pack in order to make waves in this division. But they have to get there. They cannot be 28th again or 20th even.
DeMarcus.
Now, this defense altogether, yeah, they need to have some type of change of philosophy. Oh, my bad. They did that this year. Dan Quinn, they brought back the old system. Now, of course, I know a lot of people look at DeMarcus Lawrence and they say, hey, we didn't pay him all of that coins or all of that money just to be a run stopper. You don't pay run stoppers that amount of money to do such. And I give them that. Now, he's a hell of a run stopper. And, of course, heavy is the crown again when you are thrusted in a position where you got 2 guys blocking you and then you might have another person to chip. We need our other guys to eat. If there's one-on-one and the inside, then those inside guys need to eat. And Randy Gregory, I'm looking at this situation since he will be on that left side since he will be on the right side going against the top left tackles out there. He needs to be able to create that pressure, dip his shoulder and get around and hit. And I'm quite sure when you look at Randy Gregory, he's been in the league for 7 years now, it's time for us to see the results. The expectation that we have of him, we need to start seeing those results. And this is a pay type of contract year for him. So he need to create pressure. D-Law need to create pressure on the edge. And then the interior guys need to win. W-I-N. And on top of that, excuse me, LVE, this is a quote-unquote contract year for him as well. So he need to find a way to stay healthy. And everything else will work its way out if he can remain healthy. So contract year, think about this. Proven year for D-Law, contract year for Randy Gregory, and a contract year for LVE. If not, Dan Quinn could be looking at this situation saying, okay, it's time for us to move on anyhow. And I think that he have no strings to be attached to these guys. No sponsorships at all. So he's looking at this thing with the fresh, clean eyes, and he might just do that.
Lawrence is now saying, not going anywhere for a while because he's been waiting. I think this is, no one would ever put this on a motivational phrase, or they would never use this as a speech, but like, they just have to be decent. Just decent. Yeah. That's the big D. Yeah. Like, give me 17th in the league, and I think we can win the East, because it's not only their offense is that good. Like, it's Daniel Jones and it's Jalen Hurts, and it's like, this is not a murderer's row of quarterbacks right here. Like, I think if they're decent, and I know that Mike McCarthy would never say that, neither would Dan Quinn, but I'm saying it. Have a decent defense and you'll be in the playoffs.
No doubt. And Franz Fitzpatrick, by the way, don't leave his name out. So you got Fitzpatrick, you got Daniel Jones, and then you got whoever they're going to have in Eagles land, as their quarterback. I'm hearing that they try like holy hell to get Deshaun Watson, but we will see if that all trickles down. But I doubt it. They don't have any money. I don't know how they will make that happen, but we've seen crazier things happen with the Eagles. But Jalen Hurts, I think that he's a try-hard guy, but neither here nor there. None of those guys are household quarterback names. And I know some hater will say, so is Dak Prescott not a household name? Well, we'll find out this season if everybody can stay healthy on all of those teams that I just mentioned, the Eagles, the Giants team, and the Washington team. We'll see.
What makes this team so unique is that we haven't seen this very talented roster do anything collectively yet. Dak Prescott going down, the additions that they had, some of these new pieces we want to see on the field.
Put it together.
Yeah, like we look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We know how talented the roster is. But we also seen them play well. So when we're looking at Tampa Bay, or maybe a team like Russell Wilson Seahawks or Aaron Rodgers Green Bay Packers, just do what you've done before. That's going to be enough to get you to the playoffs. We can't say that about this squad. They're literally doing something they haven't done before. So as much as we want to praise these guys and say they're great on offense, Dak Prescott is back, the defense has talent, the coaching staff is really going to prove themselves, but we haven't seen them do it. So this could be a great season for the Cowboys, but once again, if they do not fulfill expectations, I think this is the biggest failure in all of football.
Well, the reason why other teams are able to put things together, they don't have a meddling owner, right? The owner's not all in the other meetings, and it's not such a political base organizations like the Dallas Cowboys. But it is what it is. Look, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? We get all of the shine and we get all of the hate. So that's just how it is being a Cowboys fan. And those teams were able to put it together because I believe that they didn't have a lot of hands into the mixing bowl.
Because of how good the roster is. Not because they're the Cowboys, because they are loaded top to bottom.
They had a lot of challenges last year trying to implement a complicated defensive scheme. They didn't have an offseason to do it. Mike McCarthy has admitted that was a mistake, but they do have that talent. We've seen them produce on offense. Something went haywire, too, with Zeke Elliott, to your point last year, where the fumble problem started to kick in. It seemed like something got to him. The coaching staff loves Ezekiel Elliott. It comes to work every day. He's always dialed in, but it got away from him. And all those quarterback changes, all the offensive line changes, the defense playing terribly, has to have a trickle-down effect on everything else you're doing.
Yeah, a lot of times when you get a new running back coach and then you battling through the pandemic stuff, I'm not going to say the other word. You know how that thing goes when you mention that. A lot of things can go left. And on top of that, not a full off season. A lot of things. This is not me saying or giving Ezekiel Elliott an excuse. No, don't get it like that. You know, he still got to come up and show out. If not, Tony Pollard sitting there saying, hey, give me the opportunity, coach. Throw me out there. I'm ready. You know, the same set of circumstances is right around the corner for me as well, and I'm able to prevail. So those are things that we will have to understand that that's just life. But going to 2021 season, it's put up or shut up, right?
Vision predictions, and
Yes.
we'll say who's going to win the East. There's a lot of heat on Washington, like a lot.
Facts.
And if you're telling me that, Nate, you're saying there's a great collection of talents and this superstar quarterback, are people still going to say, nah, I'm going to take Ryan Fitzpatrick in that defense? We'll see if the people put their money where their mouth is. Because we like the Cowboys, those predictions are going to be interesting.
What?
You know what I thought you were going to say?
No,
I
sorry, disappointed you.
I thought you were going to say it's going to be interesting a couple of weeks from now when we get Hard Knocks.
So true. I didn't even think of that.
Inside, what's going on? Is this going to be the Dallas Cowboys who are very cinematic and dramatic? It's going to be hard hat, old school, blue collar football.
Yeah.
Because I remember the last time we saw Hard Knocks, it was the cupcake.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that. They need to go out there and play some old school football.
Give me.
Yeah, so it will be some good old school football if you guys know how Mike McCarthy liked to throw down. And I think that, you know, from all what I heard from, you know, Atlanta Falcons fans and some Seattle Seahawks fans, they said Dan Quinn is a very personable guy and he's a hands-on type of person. And we got a chance to see some of that during the mini camp. So I just believe it'll be a different type of flavor. Same Cowboys, though. Same silver and blue, different type of flavor. Still Jerry Wayne and things will be all in the press box, in the media. Of course, John Stephen Jones, his son, will be still there giving his analysis and thoughts. I think they do 2 shows out of a week. So that stuff will still be the same, Cowboy Nation. It will be. Now, to preface my statement when I say that, because, yes, we all know that people will say, hey, it's still the same stuff. Still same old Cowboys. But it goes all the way back to one of my favorite Dallas Cowboys quarterback of all time, Troy Aikman. He lamented in 1995 we had to win in spite of the coaches. Well, this organization have to win in spite of the social media, in spite of probably the coaches, in spite of the owner, and in spite of everything. They have to rally behind Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott got to be the leader of this team. And on the defense, hey, believe it or not, one of these young guys got to step it up. And I feel like they got one of those guys on his team. I'm not even going to say his name. We're going to let that all unfold at the mid-process part of this season, right? And on top of that, to answer you guys' questioning, or to answer the question of the title of this video, can the offense carry the defense, or can the offense carry this team all together? My answer is yes. How I want this offense to do, or what I want this offense to do, that's a better way to say it. First few weeks, maybe all the way through the bye, offense on the same page. And then midway and down toward the latter part of the year, the defense stands firm and stands strong organically. Let's not rush none of this. Let's put the people out there that you know deserve that spot and earn that spot. And let them throw them in the deep end. Let them sink or swim. Don't wait too late. Don't wait till week 9, week 10 and say, let's give this guy a chance. No. Throw him out there now. And if he earned that spot, then put him out there from the defensive category speaking. You know, defensively speaking, basically. That's a better way to say that. So post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below. If you like what you heard today, hit that like button, share this content. Be sure to subscribe for more information. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys. Let's go.
So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly.